Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're back. I don't even know what season. Season 32, Archon League. Regular season is over. The playoff bracket is out. Fortunately, I can't see the group stage anymore. I think they removed it to save space or something. So, I can't find one of the series. I think it might have been a forfeit, but I'm not sure. I don't know. So we only got 7 series today. I don't know what happened with the other one. It's the Hog.LMAO. I think versus Pot of Sloth series. I'm pretty sure that's what this series was. Maybe not Pot of Sloth. Maybe it was someone else versus Hog.LMAO. If anyone knows, let me know. I can't find the series. Anyway, jumping in. I think this will be the last Chad content of the season. I know Cookie and the Hunt squad has some stuff planned for playoffs, which is good because I usually don't do playoff content anyway. I might jump in on some of that as well just to spice things up. But yeah, so look out for their content in playoffs. And without further ado, let's jump in. First series of the week, we got Team Unrivaled versus Hunt Echoes. Let's jump in. Looks like a middle Wyvern. We've run that a couple times. It's pretty decent. Not my favorite, but it's decent. And overall, I think it's pretty good for Protect 1. Hunt is a little bit greedy with the Medusa and TA. Centaur can make space if you get off to a super hot start. Looks like he had Vanguard by 6 minutes. That's wicked good. But then nothing till 19 minutes, so maybe the lane wasn't perfect. You really need that if you're going to have these greedy cores. I'm going to go with Unrivaled here. I just think it's more well-rounded. It's a 4 Protect 1. You got Initiation. You got people to sit back and attack. Yeah, I just think it's pretty good. Game number 2. Unrivaled versus Hunt Echoes. Let's see. Unrivaled, they go with Venge again. I think it's also still a support. Lone Druid, you don't see a lot of. It's a pretty greedy core trio overall with Dusa, Lone Druid, and Dragon Knight. You kind of counteract yourself. I know, like Lone Druid, especially when Ultralex is playing on, he likes to split push. So a little bit decent energy there. Hunt, they're going with Cookie's Skywrath Mage, I like. Luna's really good right now. OD you don't see a lot of in an off-lane bounty hunter. A little bit less conventional of a draft, but I think it covers a decent amount of stuff except for you're missing someone to just tank damage. So it's going to get to a point in the game where they're just going to be able to blow you guys up. I know they're kind of going... Hunt's going for like a pick-off lineup, so you just got to avoid team fights. And if you can do that, I really like Hunt's draft, so I'll go with Hunt here, game 2. Alright guys, the first replay... literally took me 10 minutes to download. And these replays also taking a bunch of time. So I think I'm just not going to do replays this week, which sucks. But I just don't have that. I only have 2 hours left before I got to go to work. If each replay is going to take 10 minutes, that's 16 replays. That's 160 minutes. That's like 3 hours. I just literally don't have enough time for that. So I guess we're just not going to do replays this week. Unfortunate. But I don't know. I don't really have that many choices, so I just have to go no replays this week. Judge base solely off the dota buff. Game 1, this looked crazy. I think I did see this fight as the only replay I downloaded this week. I thought for sure Hunter was just gonna win the fight, win the game, but they make a really good stand on Unrivaled, come back and win. Super hype. And then game 2 looks like Unrivaled just held their advantage really well. I think they won early game, and then they had a late game draft, and so they were able to just make space for their cores to farm, and then it hit 30 minutes, and it was like, hey, Medusa's online, and they won the game. That would be my guess. I don't know, again, but seems likely. I think this was a close series for a 2-0, 100%. I mean, this game, literally, Unrivaled had way less kills and won, and this game was pretty close for the first 30 minutes, and then Medusa came online and won in 3 minutes. So I would say it's a pretty good series, my guess, and the 2-0, I think it easily could have been 1-1, so I think a good series overall. Second series of the week, we have Extra versus Dingos. Let's jump in. Extra, they got the Luna, which is pretty good. Is this a mid? It is. It's a mid Skywrath Mage. Got the Nyx Assassin. I don't mind this draft. It's okay. I think you're going to kind of have a weak lane with AA Luna. You're going to have to like max your stun on Luna, I think, just to secure the last hits and harass a little bit, but I like it. Dingos. Another 4 Protect 1, so that seems to be, hold on, mid, Avenge, and off lane. Okay. I actually don't mind this draft either. I think both these drafts are pretty solid. I'll go Dingos here just because I think the Venge, I think it's a really good 4 Protect 1, and then the Medusa is going to come online and just be unkillable, especially with the Venge damage and all the auras. So I'll go Dingos, but I like this draft out of Extra too. Game number 2, the Dingos. They're rocking Spectre. I've played against so many Spectres lately. It's just so boring. I think overall pretty solid, maybe a little bit greedy support duo, but that's okay. You don't have that greedy of a core duo until the Spectre, so I like it. Extra, they went with the carry Pudge. I've seen a lot about this. Mid Templar Assassin, offlane Broodmother, 4-position Gyro. Holy cow. This draft is all over the place. I think TA is like literally one of the best heroes of the patch as well. So TA I like. The rest of this draft, I don't really know how to feel. Gyro is pretty good. I think I'm definitely going to go Dingo's draft here. I think it's just more well-rounded, more, standard, I think, for the league. This looks like a fun draft. I don't know how good it is, though. That's my question. But I like Dingo's draft here. Then overall, I don't know why I still do the same format if we're not doing replays, but that's okay. Game 1 looks like who was Extra. Had a really early lead. Dingos almost fought back. Then Extra won this team fight. Then Dingos won this team fight. It was kind of back and forth, but the whole time Extra has a huge net worth lead. I think at the end of the game they just had to kill the Dusa, right? And then they win. Yeah. So pretty good job by Extra there, it looks like, to hold their advantage. And then game 2, Dingos. It was really close for 20 minutes, pretty back and forth. This huge team fight here I probably would have showed. Put it back in the Extra's favor, I think. No. Back. So here's this. The Dingos. This is Extra. So Extra had a lead the whole time, and Dingos took a really good fight here and won. I mean, to be fair, Broodmother falls off pretty hard, but you have a pretty decent late game draft. So must have been a huge fight for the Dingos there to win the game, and they probably just went down mid. Yeah. Huh. Pretty good series so far. I'd say series of the week. We'll see. We'll see, but yeah, good series. Third series of the week, we got Goon Squad versus Copium Krab. I think this is going to be an exciting matchup. I think Goon Squad's been on the up and coming. I know Copium Krab's near that top of the league, so this should be a good series. Let's see. Anything crazy? The Luna's really good. I like it. I like Leshrac as a hero as well. I think it's a pretty solid draft out of Goon Squad. Nothing crazy, but it all works together. Copium, I know they really like this Terrorblade. Wyvern's really good right now. Go with the mid Lena. I like it. It's a lot of different. So they went Viper and Lena. So there's the flex. I would have picked that up earlier because in the whole draft they don't know what's happening if you're going to put that support Viper. But again, it doesn't really matter. The offlane Sandcane I like, and it looks like they just did a really good job protecting this Terrorblade. So overall, I really like this draft as well. Both of these drafts are pretty good. I might go with the Goon Squad here just because I think it's more traditional and just very well rounded. I don't believe all that much in the support Viper, but I still think this is a really good draft. And game number 2, Goon Squad. They go basically the same exact draft. Looks like Roxy Hoodwink. Oh no, they had the mid Lena. Never mind. So Lena, Grimstroke is good. Centaur again, and then an Ursa. Interesting. Copium, Wyvern again is wicked good. I don't love it against Ursa because you can get that stacks while they're healing, but it is what it is. They go with a Medusa for the late game, offlane Venomancer. So again, this is a pretty greedy core duo, and then you have an offlane Venomancer, which I don't love. I'm just going to assume these are switched, right? But it's not. I think if it was a offlane Viper and support Venomancer, first of all, this lane is super toxic, pun intended. I mean, that is going to be miserable to play against, especially as an Ursa, and you're just kiting the Ursa around. I don't think this Ursa has a chance this game. I might just go with Copium here. I think that offlane... I mean, this is so greedy, though, with TA and Medusa. Goon Squad's way more well-rounded. I just don't think an Ursa can do anything against a Venomancer Viper. You gotta just run at them from level 1 and hope you can get a kill or two. I like the Grimstroke Ursa lane. I might go Copium Krab here, but their core duo is so greedy. I don't love this. I wish you went something a little less greedy here. I just don't think this Ursa's gonna have a game. Alright, game 1 looked really close. 40 minutes until a net worth lead, and then looks like Goon Squad just didn't get a kill the last 40 minutes of the game. Looks like Copium did a really good job. I mean, this is where Copium shines, right? I think they're a really good team, and they show their game knowledge a lot because they probably just played the map so well the last 10 minutes of the game that it was inevitable that they would win even if they're close. So really close game 1. And then game 2, look, this one looks super brawly. Look at all these team fights. Looks like, why do I keep forgetting it? Goon squad's like winning these team fights until here at the end. It's like if you lose one team fight, Copium's gonna win. So really good job by Goon squad. It felt like they kept almost losing the game, just bringing it back, almost losing it, bringing it back, and then this one team fight looked like Copium just was like, okay, time to win. So really good job by both teams. Very good series too. I think it easily could have been a 1-1. So good job by both teams. The fourth series we got this week. Oh, this is my series. Harpies versus InstiGators. Alrighty, let's jump in. InstiGators. Let's see. Clockwork, 5 position. That's the only thing really crazy about this draft. I think maybe if you go a save here instead of Clockwork, but then you kind of lack initiation. You're relying on the Centaur. So not terrible. Harpies, they're going to go... What do I think about this? You don't have any real space creators for the Wraith King. Like, Tyrant can just kind of stand there, but you don't have great kill potential. I mean, once the Invoker gets involved, gets a couple levels, maybe. Once it gets, like, the Cataclysm at 25 minutes. I think I'm going to go with our draft here. I'm probably biased, but I think the only thing I'd change maybe is the Clockwork, and I don't think Clockwork's a bad hero here. I think this lane's just a little weak, but you got to save on Harpies that I like, but otherwise I don't know. I think you just don't make enough space for the Wraith King. Obviously this game they did, and they won, but that's my unbiased opinion. Game number 2, let's see. So this is a wonky draft for us. We got Carry Slardar. Oh, I thought I played Techies this game. I played Warlock. Oh, that hero's so boring, bro. I feel like you only do one thing every 3 minutes. Harpies, they went with the mid-Pudge. I don't love the mid-Pudge. I think the rest of their draft is very solid, honestly. I think this isn't a terrible lane. I think this is a pretty good lane, and it's just a 4 protect 1 on the Luna. I think the only thing I would change is the Pudge. I think that hero's not really great mid or carry. I know people have been running it with some success. I'm just saying I don't love it. On our side, feels like we have 2-ish heroes doing kind of the same thing. What are we lacking though? I don't really know. I kind of like our draft again. I would go Harpies here just because I think it's a really solid draft minus the Pudge. Our draft I like, but it doesn't scream win potential, if that makes sense. It's just like a very solid draft, but it's very safe, I feel like. Whereas Harpies, I feel like I can easily see how they win. Maybe our scenarios, we get Morphling up to the max level, then we just try to win there. But I like Harpies draft. Then overall, the series game 1 was really close with 30 minutes. Looks like they took a good team fight here, and then held their advantage really well right up until... I mean, honestly, it was really close until this last team fight. I remember this team fight. It just felt like almost our team panicked. They had good initiation, picked off a couple heroes, and then it felt like everyone else was just kind of like save your buddy syndrome, and then they were taking racks, and then a couple of our guys jumped in and tried to save the racks, but it's like, just let one lane of racks go, wait for everyone else to come up, then you're one lane down. Whereas if you jump in and die, now you're going to lose the game, that kind of thing. So that's unfortunate. I think it was pretty close up until then. And then game 2 looks like was very close until 35 minutes, and then or 3 team fights in a row went the way of Harpies, and they just won the game off that. So again, really close series. I think it easily could have been a 1-1. Good job by Harpies to just wait until they hit their moment and then they win off that. So good series. Our 5th series of the week, we have Prancing Roosters versus GRIN Swift. So let's see, mid-axe, that's kind of crazy. Offlane Brewmaster, you don't see that a lot. Oh, I'm stuffed up, I don't know why. Ursa, I guess, is making a comeback here. GRIN, they go with mid Lena, and then 4 melees. So it's a good Timbersaw game, it's a good Techo game. A lot of melees here. I would have liked to see someone a little bit more ranged, probably on the support duo, because you got the Lena to do damage in the range here, which I like a lot. If you get someone ranged on the support duo, because I think these 2 heroes kind of do the same thing. Abba's a little bit more save, while Orgu's a little more buff up your teammates. I like this draft is there's a lot of different variation. I think, you know, maybe someone a little bit better to get on the back lines like a Spirit instead of the Axe I would have liked, but I think Axe is fine for that. So I'm going to go Prancing Roosters draft here. I think this is just I think you just need something on the support duo that's a little bit different. Maybe like an Oracle instead of the Abba, because the Abba has to be in there. It feels like. That's my biased opinion. Game number 2, GRIN. They're going with a Monkey King. You don't see that ever. That hero is apparently garbage right now. Offlane DK. Meh. Everyone knows how I feel about that. It's okay. Prancing Roosters. They got the Disruptor, the Luna. Let's see. So that's a 4-position Disruptor. They go with the Brewmaster again and the mid Lena. So you got the Slark to get on top of the Lena, which I like a lot. You can get off his or Lena's stun. Ogre, I think, pairs really well with the Luna. But you're lacking initiation hard on Prancing Roosters here. I don't know how you start fights. And then Slark is really slippery. Monkey King's really slippery. Dragon Knight doesn't care if you go on him. And then you got the save from the Shadow Demon. I really like GRIN's draft here. I think maybe something a little bit different than Monkey King. Maybe initiation as well. Really, your only initiation is like Slarking on the back lines. Monkey King jumping in and ulting. Dragon Knight jumping in and stunning. Which aren't great initiations, but they are initiations. I don't think you have any initiation on Prince Roosters other than like a Brewmaster split. So I'll go with GRIN Swift here. Overall, in the series, Game 1 looked to be pretty much Prancing Roosters sided. It was pretty close, I think, until this team fight, it looks like. And then Prancing Roosters just held their advantage, killed them a lot, and then this one team fight sealed the deal. So really good Game 1 for Prancing Roosters. Then Game 2... I don't think it was almost the opposite. You know, close for 15 minutes. This really good team fight by GRIN here to kill these guys. They held their advantage. Looks like they almost gave it up here. A good team fight by Prancing Roosters to bring it back, and then this team wipe here really sealed the deal. It looks like so. Really good series again. A 1-1. I think I still like that earlier series, the second series of the week, because it was so back and forth. But this was a very good series by both teams. 6th series of the week, we got Red 5 standing by versus Victoria's Secret 6th player here. Jumping in. I think Gyro's a little bit less of a greedy carry, so I don't mind the Gyro Ember core. Offlane ET's not my favorite, but I know it's been played a little bit. Red 5. Pretty solid 4 Protect 1. I actually like this draft a lot. I mean, the Luna, I think, is literally, I've said it so many times, one of the better heroes of this patch. So this 4 Protect 1 is pretty solid. You can split push if you need to make space with Hoodwink and Train Protector. This Legion is good with pickoffs. Viper's good to just get gone on. So overall, I really like this Red 5 draft. Game number 2, Red 5, they go with the Luna again. I like this draft a little bit less for them. I like last draft because it just felt like there were so many different ways they could go about it. This draft, it feels like you just got it. I mean, I still like this draft, don't get me wrong. I think it's pretty solid, but it's more one-dimensional. Victoria's Secret, mid Magnus, you got a Jug to buff up, and then a Tide Hunter, and then an Axe. So you got, this is really greedy for me. I don't know, is this a support Axe? It kind of looks like a support Axe. Yeah, I don't really love that. Or not Axe, support Toad Hunter. I don't love that really. 4 minutes on phase boost, that's very fast. I like this. I like this. I just don't love this here. I'll probably go with Red 5 again. I think this draft is solid. I don't think it's as, like I said, it doesn't have as many options to like how you play out and how you get to your win condition of Luna just hitting that timing and just taking towers, but it's still pretty solid. It's just a 4 Protect 1. You're going to run at them until Luna's ready, so I like it. The series overall looks like Red 5 had an advantage and just held it really well. At 13 minutes, they team wiped them, and then that was kind of it. They didn't give up, and the game only lasted 28 minutes, so really good job by Red 5 there. And then Game 2 was a little bit longer. This one was very close. A really good team wipe by Victoria's Secret here, bring it down, and then Red 5 just battled back, and then it was very close up until this last team fight, it looks like, where Red 5 got the jump on them and team wiped them. So really good Game 2. Very good Game 2, it looks like. Really good series by both teams. I think Red 5's kind of making a comeback near the end of the season, which is good to see. I know they started off a little slow, but they're coming back up. Victoria's Secret is not a bad team at all, so really good series overall. Alrighty, the last series we have for you guys is Midnight.Impulse versus Bunnies and Rats jumping in. Midnight.Impulse, they got the Disruptor. You'll love to see that. I think this is a pretty solid draft. I mean, you can even go super aggro on the Slark and just run at you, which is what Disruptor's really good at. Death Prophet's really good at. Underlord's really tanky off the rip, so it's not bad. Yeah, and this is a really greedy draft to have Bunnies and Rats. They got Bristleback and Drow, which I think are two people that soak up a bunch of farm, and OD, who needs farm. You got the 8-minute Meteor Hammer, but then you just need to be able to take fights and win fights with that. And I don't think Bristleback is the offlaner that's ready to join you at that stage in the game. So I really like this draft out of Midnight.Impulse here. Game number 2. Midnight.Impulse, they go with the Bristle. This is now greedy. I think the Puck is a pretty solid mid to offset that, because you don't need a bunch of items on Puck. You got the save on ABBA. I just think it's a little greedy. Bunnies and Rats, they go with a Techo. Now I understand the ABBA. I guess they picked it late, so they just didn't mind. Otherwise, let's see. Phantom Assassin, you don't see that a lot. You don't really have any way to deal with the PL. I guess maybe Mars is okay at it. Invoker's okay. I don't know if Invoker's good at it, actually. I think PL's pretty good against Invoker. He's just going to destroy him. I mean, I guess even the PL can just kind of get around the techies, right? You just send your illusions up first, and then they die to the mines. I think I'm going to go with Midnight.Impulse here again. This draft seems okay. I actually don't mind it, but I'm not a big techies believer right now. I think he needs like one more buff, but I also think he's super fun. I also think he's super good. So I think he needs one more buff before I think he's OP. But I'm going to go with Midnight.Impulse here again. I just feel like it's... Actually, this is really greedy. But I think the save on ABBA, I think there's a lot of ways to counteract this, and then I just don't think there's any solution to the PL. So I'll go Midnight.Impulse. So game 1 looks like was very Midnight.Impulse favored, and they just held their advantage really well. I mean, even to that point, Bunnies and Rats were still getting kills. They found the Disruptor, the Shaman over and over. They even killed DP and Slark here, but at some point, oh, look at this. They almost team wipe them. Everyone but the Shaman, but it just didn't matter. It looks like they couldn't get any towers off of it or anything to really help their net worth lead. It looks like they had the Aegis on the Underlord or something. So it was just too much. Midnight.Impulse were able to hold out there. And then game 2, looks like it was just not a lot of fighting, really. A little bit of pickoffs every here and there. And then up until like here was a team fight. And then Midnight.Impulse were able to win. So pretty... Oh, wow. They got mega creeps within 27 minutes. That's kind of crazy. Anyway, really good series. Good job by Midnight.Impulse. I think they showed out there, which is really good. You like to see it. Alright, so that's going to do it for the regular season content. I kind of stopped doing rankings a couple weeks ago. Predictions, it's tough. I'd have to predict the whole bracket right now, which I'll probably end up trying to do anyway. But, yeah, really good week for everyone. It was good to see a couple teams show up right near the end there for a different position in the tournament bracket, so that's really good. Jumping into the playoffs here. So it looks like it's one of these brackets. Oh, so this is every week then. Until here, this sucks. So if you're not going to play for like 3 weeks before the championship, that's tough. I mean, on the bright side, you get to watch 3 weeks of Dota. You can scout your competition, but upper bracket here, that's going to be tough. But anyway, I think, let's see. This will be a very good matchup. This will be a good matchup. This will be a good matchup. This will be a good matchup. I think probably I'm leaning towards Extra or Copium coming out up top here, but I know UnRivaled just beat Copium last week. I think really this year, specifically in Archon, it's anyone's bracket. Anyone can win. I don't really think... I think it'll be someone in the upper bracket that ends up winning here. I think these teams will probably all be out by this or this week, just because I think these teams are just really solid. But then again, this is like literally one of the closest ones I've seen yet, so I wouldn't be shocked. I know like Hunt made a run last year. They made a run all the way to like either here or here, and I didn't expect them to. I think Bunnies and Rats and Bunnies were up top. I think if there's any team that's going to have a chance coming out of the bottom, it's probably going to be either Hunt or Prancing Roosters. I think are also kind of a sleeper team. I think they're pretty decent. Pot of Sloth I think could pull something off, but I know they were at the lower end of the league near the end of it. I don't know how everyone finished. But I think maybe these 3 teams, Pot of Sloth, Prancing Roosters, Echoes, I'd probably lean towards Hunt. And then coming out of the top, I think it's probably going to be Copium or Extra that end up here. Wouldn't be shocked if Red 5 make a run, UnRivaled make a run, or Goon Squad. I think Dingos, 6 players, a really good team too. I wouldn't be shocked if they make a run. Dingos and Midnight.Impulse are the two teams I don't expect to make it to the end, so I would be shocked if they did. But that would be super exciting as well. So I could see any of these 6 teams, and then Dingos and Midnight.Impulse, if they made a run, I'd be pumped. And then Hunt, Pot of Sloth, and Prancing Roosters are my 3 sleepers of the lower bracket. But that'll probably be it. I don't know who I think will win. Probably Copium, Krab, if I had to choose. But UnRivaled did just 2-0 them, so it's not going to be anyone's like an easy walk to the finals. I think it's going to be a really good tournament. It's going to be a really good playoffs. I hope everyone has fun. I think I'm going to be taking a break from 82L next season, so I don't think I'm going to be playing. Probably won't be making content either, just because it's hard to keep up with it, especially if I'm not playing. So this might be the last Chad video for a while, at least for a season or 2. But I'm really excited where Archon is. I think everyone is competitive now. I think Archon itself is a fun bracket. I think we have a lot of teams, which is super exciting. So I like the state of Archon right now. I'm just kind of burnt out, so I'm ready to take a break. But I'll probably still watch games every now and then. Maybe I'll cast 1 or 2. Who knows? So I hope everyone has really good playoffs. You'll see me in some Hunt videos probably. I might make an appearance. But yeah, look for them for playoff content. And I hope everyone has a really good season.